Yeah, Coach, I guess KJ or Talon, have you made a decision yet on maybe where you're going to go under center this weekend?
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. We got to play it out in practice and make sure everybody's in good shape. But and we probably won't even announce it. We'll just work it and see who's ready to go.
But Talon's available from he was able to come back into the game, but just confirming he is he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's healthy. He was given the clear to come back in the game. I made the decision that when he was healthy when they told me that Talon's ready to go, that was the words they said, Talon's ready to go. And I said, no, we're going to stay with KJ. So we kept KJ in the game. I thought he earned it, took the ball, drove us down. I think we got 3 scores with him in the game, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and I thought he did a good job.
You mentioned after the game there were some first-time signs, maybe body language, some stuff you might not have been happy with. How was the response last night when you got with the team?
It was good. I mean, it was an honest team meeting. And then they went out and they ran hard, and the young guys practiced, and they practiced hard. So it was a very productive night.
Coach, regardless of who you start at quarterback, do you foresee a situation where both of them, KJ and Talon, could both play?
It's too early to even answer any of these, but I understand the questions. It's a big thing. Who's going to be the quarterback this weekend? But I really wouldn't know that. That's not exactly what you would like to do. You'd like to have the starter come in and play really well and drive us up and down the field, score a bunch of points, no turnovers, and play well and not have a thought of your mind that you're going to rotate quarterbacks. I've never really been a huge believer in that except for, I guess, my first go-around at Louisville. The previous head coach, not previous, but a long time ago, head coach, famous coach for the Dolphins, Howard Schnellenberger. He always played his backup quarterback the first series of the second quarter. We had Brian Braum as our backup quarterback, true freshman, Stephon LaFleur as our starter. So we played Brian the first series of the second quarter, I think, in every single game. And it worked out well for us. It wasn't very fun for Stephon. He didn't like it. His family didn't like it. Probably more than him. His family didn't like it. I remember we were at Tulane and playing in the Dome. There wasn't many people at it at that time. And we were a little bit better than they were. But when we started the second quarters, there was a bunch of boos, and it wasn't Tulane booing us. It was Stephon's family. That's what I remember about playing 2 quarterbacks. So no, I'm not gonna want to do that. That's for sure. Yeah. Sorry about the long story, guys.
That's good.
Just made me think about it.
We got our first extended look at KJ on the field. I'm curious what you can tell us about him off the field in the meeting room. How is he maybe similar or different than Talon in that aspect of things?
Yeah, he's always been great in the meeting room. He's very, very intelligent. He spends a lot of time working on it, trying to understand the offense. We've always had tremendous amount of respect for him and confidence in him.
Given your experience in the game, what's your advice to seniors in soaking in their final week?
Yeah, I think they want to put all they have into it. Prepare themselves. We got a lot of guys that have been playing football since they were probably 6, 7, 8 years old, and now this could be their last go-around, so they should invest everything they have into this week and every practice, every meeting, make it special for them.
With reports and rumors of a new coach, do you kind of hear any of that, and how are you feeling these past few weeks having shown interest in the job?
I haven't thought about it. I'm just trying to work on making sure we finish this thing right for the players and the assistant coaches.
What has this experience been like for you? I know you touched on it some last week, but just kind of plugging back into the head coaching role here, what it's been like for you?
I mean, it's been difficult. I can't say it hasn't been difficult. There's a staff that was already in place. There's guys in the building that you didn't hire, you You're trying to make it so everybody has a good experience. You're trying to go out and compete on the field, find ways to win. We haven't been able to do that. We've gotten very close a number of times and then just didn't follow through with it. So it hasn't been like the funnest thing I've ever done in my life, I can tell you that. But, we just tried to make it about the players and them having, encouraging them to do well.
You really embraced the Texas rivalry last week. The Missouri wasn't even a thing when you were the head coach here. What do you make of this being the Thanksgiving weekend matchup for Arkansas, and what do you think of their team?
Yeah, that is definitely new for me. We used to always finish this one off with LSU, which was a lot of fun. And, Missouri's done a really nice job. Their football team, they've built with the D-line, linebackers, secondary. They're very good on defense. Offensively, they've been a team that always can run wide zone, and they believe in it. They do it really well. Their running back's a very, very good player. And they've had some quarterback issues with injuries, so that they've overcome a lot. So you gotta say they've done a really nice job.
There's a CBS report this morning that Chris Wilson had an incident with a player about a month ago or so. What's your take on how that all went down?
Yeah, that all happened, I think it was the first week we were there. And once we had word of it, myself, Hunter, talked with both Chris and Ken. They said they were joking around, shadow boxing. Ken said he bit his lip, and people made a big deal out of it. But we both looked into it, took it very serious, met with them, each of them individually, and found that there was nothing to it.
Have you had any run-in with Drinkwitz aside from last year's game? Any meetings or off field or anything like that?
Did you say run-in with him?
Run-in.
I've never had any run-in with him. I know him really well. He used to come down here when I was the head coach and watch us practice, and when he was still in high school. When he was at the University of Missouri and I was at Missouri State, they flew down and watched us practice and met with us for an afternoon on some of the things we were doing offensively. We've known each other for a long, long time, but we've never had any run-ins.
Run-in might have a negative.
Well, I'm from Montana, so run-ins means you don't really like each other.
Yeah, I was just thinking like playing each other,
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Not that you guys had fought or anything, but when you got me curious on the quarterback thing, was that to get your backup quarterback ready in a time of the game when maybe it wasn't as pressure packed in case you needed him later? Was that the thought process?
Yeah, that was what Coach told me, that because I investigated and I wanted to know why he did it. I mean, he was at Miami at the time, and they were known as quarterback U. And he did it with everybody throughout his career there. And he always felt like you got to get your number two guy experience, and this is the way to do it. And I watched this video. I talked to him a lot about it. And I've said, yeah, we got Brian Brom now. I felt like we were a really good team, but I felt like our chance to make a run at the national championship was when Brian was going to be our starting quarterback. So it was a way to get him experience.
I don't know. Have you commented on Braylon, his availability this week?
No, not yet. But he's got a chance, from my understanding. Met with the trainer here at 11 today, and he said he's got an opportunity. As far as his reaction to workouts tomorrow will be something that'll really decide it. Rodney should be back. He's still not feeling great, but he should be back. I don't know what sickness he had, but it put him down. It was not good.
What about Charlie Collins?
Charlie's got a chance too. He ran last night, did a good job running straight ahead, had some experience, some pain on his change of direction and cutting. So we've got to see that. Bone bruises are very, very painful injuries. Sometimes you shift in just one simple way and the pain comes back and the swelling comes back. I know I had a couple quarterbacks that have had that before, and it's hard to come back from, especially in a position where you have to change directions and lean and do that. So for a defensive end, quarterback, they're very hard injuries to come back from. He's working hard at it, I'll tell you that. He's really put a lot into it.
Sorry, long one here, but Talon, you've been here all 2 years that he's been here, and that he's put up some great numbers, but maybe the wins haven't correlated with the stats he's put up. How do you think he should be remembered as an Arkansas quarterback heading into senior day, and what's going to be his last chance here in Fayetteville?
Yeah, we came in together, obviously, and that had a big thing to do with recruiting him here. We inherited an offense that wasn't real good, and I feel like he's done a really nice job of competing. He's been tough. He's been able to win games. At one time in his first year here, we were 4-2 and feeling good about it. And he ended up having a great game in the bowl game. This year, it's been a hard go. I think it's been a hard go when you have an offense that is explosive and able to score points, but not able to score as many as the other team. And that puts a lot of pressure on you. You start feeling the pressure and you tighten up, and I think that's where some of these errors and things have come is, when you feel like you have to score every single time you go out on the field, you don't just play as freely as you would, and I think that's been, some of the issues. Obviously, he needs to overcome that and take care of the ball. It's just been a thing about taking care of the ball more than anything else. Everything else, he's done a good job of playing, but he has been prone to turn the ball over. And, in games where you have to try to outscore the other team, it adds up.
Coach, I know you're focused on Missouri this week, but I'm curious, have you been notified one way or the other if you're still in the running for the full-time job? Or?
I have not, no.
And then I had another question, but I just lost it. Sorry.
It's okay.
I wanted to ask you about the Missouri run game. Why they're so tough in the run game?
Yeah, they believe in the wide zone, and they do run counter that complements it, and they do a great job with their offensive line. They have ever since Drink was at App State. That's been their gig. That's probably what helped him get that job, is their ability to run wide zone and scheme it up. The running back is real. Now, he's very, very powerful. He sees things. He makes cuts. And he breaks as many tackles as guys I've seen or that we've played. So and then they have another guy that's bigger and just as fast come in behind him. So the two of them complement each other very well.
Just thought of it. I know, regardless of who the next coach is, would you have any interest in being an offensive coordinator again like you have been before? Or?
Yeah, it's things that I haven't thought about. So, it's hard for me to say that right now.
I guess how do you address turnovers with a game left? Is it an extra 30 minutes on circuit, extra 30 minutes in film each day? How do you do that?
Yeah, you do it like you do every week. You got to tuck the ball away. We do it on during practice. We do it every time they touch the ball, that you have to chin the ball, lock it. You just continue to work at it. So I have been years where you make a huge emphasis of it and you seem to turn it over more. So you got to be a little bit careful on that too.
I guess who's a non-captain that's senior that's taken the message to heart of what you said a few days ago about just finishing practice correctly and stuff and finishing it out on a win?
I think we're about to find that out tomorrow when we get back out on the practice field. I did like the way they ran last night. I thought they did a good job reacting to not really finishing the game the way you should against Texas and everybody. And like I said, you say if the shoe fits, put it on, and not talking to everybody in the room, because there's a lot of guys in the room that put everything they had out on that field, and they're the ones that have to make the difference on their teammates, the guys that did put everything they had out on the field.
Prabula came back for Missouri, I think, over the weekend. You've played a few quarterback pairings this year. I guess what's the ratio of prep for kind of him and Zollers and weeks past?
Yeah, I think he'll be the quarterback. I think he played, came back from that injury. They believe in him. He did a good job early in the year when he was healthy, and he played well last week. Had a couple turnovers, but he did play well, and we feel like he'll be the one that will be their quarterback.
Used to be just seniors that walked on senior day, but at least here, I feel like maybe around 2016 or something, I started seeing like guys that had graduated early or guys that weren't coming back, and stuff. Is there anybody like that on the team that's maybe has eligibility?
There's gonna be like 30 of them out there walking, so that's a lot of guys. Some of them are obviously walk-ons that this will be their last fall. So I think that's how we kind of did it. Is anybody this will be their last go around. Not all of them are technically seniors eligibility wise, but school wise they've either graduated or are about to.
Is that something that changed like around the time period that I mentioned, or am I off on that?
No, I don't think you're off on it at all. It's changed, like the whole world of football has changed. I think, everybody's at different spots now. I'm not so sure there aren't some guys that didn't go through senior day last year at their school, a year ago, and then decided they were going to play again. But I think that's how it works out.
I've seen guys here walk twice.
I know, right? Yeah.
What it comes down to is turnover margin, maybe the one statistical thing that's just maybe been the biggest disappointment this season.
No question about it. As far as what we've been able to do with yards and points and third down conversions, you look at a lot of the statistics and we're doing a nice job, but turning the ball over is what has hurt us the most.
Noticed Kavion Broussard got in at right tackle late in the game. Just how did he do? And then was that more of just a performance thing with Marion, or did he deal with an injury?
He did not have an injury. Kavion came in, and I like the way he played. He's a great athlete. He's got a really good body. He's got a bright future ahead of him. I felt like all year long he was getting better and better in practice, and he played some at left tackle, and then he came in and switched over to right tackle, and I thought he did a nice job.
Any chance for Shaq this week?
Shaq will be out there tomorrow in individual, and we'll see how all that goes, and then hopefully progress him from there. Good question. All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.